just composition wise, I've been just turned on to how good Zerg can be in 2v2s.
Who are you?
Yeah, they've got my wiener. I can't. No, stop. Full stop. All right, welcome back to the TIG 2v2 Kappa Star League qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. Spawning here on the bottom left corner of the map, we've got team. I don't even know what to call them. Team Red. It's combination Moose Skills and Bales. Flip side Complexity Tactics.
We were using team colors or not this game?
I'm using team colors. I was only doing it because there's two Terrans before. The production tab looks stupid.
Okay, okay. So on the top right says the blue team. It's the blue Protoss Larry. And the blue Terran, Pure Legacy.
I feel Larry's like this really just weak name. Like if you want your kid to be a total loser, name him Larry, right? And I'm sorry if there's anyone in the audience named Larry, but like, you know, there's like strong names out there like Rick. It just sounds like, cool, right?
Like Thor.
Sure, like even Thor works, but Larry's like that guy who's just like a total whatever. He's weird. I can't even. That conversation should have never happened.
You shouldn't have verbalized it.
No, I shouldn't have. But to give some context to what went on getting into this series, guys, you know, Moose Skills and Bales, they're great 1v1 players. Moose Skills has been streaming a ton lately, too. He's pretty fun to watch. But we don't know anything. I've never seen the name Pure Legacy or Larry ever pop up in a cast before. Not to my recollection. But they're both Grandmaster players, and they both want to hide tactics to some extent. And now I'm starting to understand why! This fully wells it off for the cannon rush! Oh!
Oh my god.
What a Larry move!
I was wondering, they're gonna be full cheesers. We have yet to see a team that is just full on cheese. Dick move, 2v2s, and we found them. This is why they won.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this is going to they couldn't have done this to the Zerg, obviously. You have that creep spread. But for Bales, this has gotta suck. Now he does have the option of maybe expanding elsewhere, but the last thing you want to do is let these cannons go on your base. And it's not like Bales can start making siege tanks. It's not like Moose Skills can start making siege tanks. How do you deal with this?
I love that you repaired the Engineer too. Just like, oh, you know,
you
nice
could repair the cannons. Probably.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't repair buildings. Have you ever tried that?
Only units? I don't know. We've never tested that one.
Interesting.
We'll have to try that sometime. No, I know you could. You definitely do units. Maybe not buildings. You're right. Buildings might be a little too far. But you know, if he gets a couple more minerals.
Cannon. Oh, it never dies.
Well, if he gets a couple more minerals, he can expand, and then this isn't such a big deal. But it's still the fact that there's now this concrete foothold in their base, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. You know, behind this, Pure Legacy and Larry both went for the wall up the front, you know? So, like, a really good move on this map specifically. Was it their choice to get this map? Do you know?
I have no clue, to be honest. We just got told the map that was going to come up first. We didn't get the vetoes.
Okay. Well, because, like, even if it wasn't, they probably have very good cheeses for all maps.
Well, there's the pylon attempted to come over here.
Tempted. I mean, it didn't even hit the Nexus until now with like an additional cannon, and now it's starting to turn on the Nexus. I mean, really, if they had gone straight to roaches or something like that, they probably could have busted it, but it would have been quite the deficit to the Zerg player. So, looks like they're just willing to give up the Nexus. I don't know.
It's such a hard loss to take. Like, okay, yes, you expanded, but you're giving up your base. I mean, this isn't going to stop here. They could then kill the engineering bay, and actually, you know what? They probably shouldn't have completed this, just thinking of it. They probably could have left it at like 99%, canceled it, and built cannons on the other side to start taking down the gateways and the pylons.
Yeah. Yeah, they really should have. It looks like the Sentry of all things can reach the pylon. Sentry's so stupid. Oh, the Photon Overcharge. It took so long for the cannons to reach the Nexus that they're actually able to get the Photon Overcharge. But he needs something else to help this, you know? It can't break. Well, actually, it may be able to break the second back cannon, but there's still one more cannon to deal with.
I can't believe a Photon Overcharge holds this, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it really was the fact that the cannons didn't initially reach the Nexus. I mean, that Nexus would have been long dead had they reached the first place.
Yeah, but see, that's where it comes back for me, where I'm like, once you got these first two down, had he been able to escape via the engineering bay cancel or something, he could have put those down. But man, this actually ends up being really not bad for them, for Team Red, that is.
Yeah,
I really
would
thought
say
this was
so.
going to be like game-endingly bad.
I guess it really all depended on like not losing that Nexus, not having photon cannons in range. So it was cool, but it was in the end sort of a waste because the mining wasn't interrupted for so long as the natural Nexus was put down. I mean, I guess it disrupted the build orders. Like maybe he was gonna go for like a Stargate, and he definitely couldn't have there. But the game kind of goes on, and 2 takes the lead. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, 2 Stargates coming down. I mean, I think one of the key things behind us, though, is like while they did disrupt and kind of screw with Bales, they also expanded back at home. And they also got their economy rocking and rolling, and their worker count is quite high and all that. But Mooseskills, man, he's got 48 workers. He's taken a 3rd. I'm not feeling too bad about his position in this game. I am curious about taking this 3rd opposed to this 3rd, but regardless, his economy's looking fine. We've seen just how much magic one Zerg player can do, how much heavy lifting a Zerg player can carry for their teammate in these 2v2s. Yesterday was a great example of this with the Momuri and Spear, but man, there's just, I don't know. We'll see how this match goes.
Well, Larry's going for his own Phoenixes, but is it off of only 1 Stargate? Oh, it's 2 Stargate versus... Oh, sorry, I was reading it wrong. All right, so it's Phoenixes versus just a robo facility for Bales. Okay, flip the colors there, sorry. Flip side the colors.
Is he going mass Phoenix? That's just like super dirty. One of the big things for this, of course, is like, okay, Phoenix on their own right are good, but we've seen Mass Phoenix, specifically in 2v2s, just be the best. I don't mean like, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this, guys. Mass Phoenix have just been the best.
Yeah. Which is why when I thought it was Bales getting it, I was like, oh, that's a very like good 2v2 follow-up. They studied their stuff, but you know, it's actually, you know, Larry on Pure Legacy's team, and they so far they seem like pretty like guys who play a lot of 2v2, all right? Like, or study a lot of 2v2 or something.
I was trying to think where I've heard the name Larry lately. It's been bugging me this whole game. Modern Family. They named the cat Larry.
Oh, I just think about Leisure Suit Larry, which I never actually like.
Oh, that game was kind of super pervy. Like even I cringed at that game.
Sure, it was. Okay, well that's, you know,
that's when you know it's bad.
That's told me a lot right there. Yeah, exactly.
like if Rifkin's turned off.
Oh, wow.
Sim's gonna try and run away.
Catch him.
Still get some good connects with the Bailings, but he does Graviton Beam all the rest of them, so ultimately this attack kind of fails.
Yeah, good splits too through the end there from Larry once he, or from Pure Legacy, sorry. We got double upgrades from Mooseskills on the Lings, so that's a little bit interesting, as, I mean, technically Lings, they don't add a lot to the main engagement, right? Unless they all morph into Banelings, which is certainly possible. But if they can get into the base, then they have access to 3 bases to be pretty annoying in.
I agree. I mean, Ling run bys are gross, especially when they get out of hand. Again, I really hate that we keep referencing Momuri because, well, he was the best example recently, just yesterday, of that. But I mean, we saw Lings win that game time and time again.
I was thinking about Rhett's game versus whoever it was just earlier.
Oh, can you lift a cocoon? Probably.
No, I don't think you can. Well, okay, wait a minute.
What if a cocoon counted as a building? What the fuck?
I actually wonder about this. Like, what else morphs into a... What other things morph?
Actually, I'm pretty sure we can lift up a cocoon, actually. I'm not having great memories, but I'm having, like, moments of, like, okay, I think I remember this happening on Frost versus Stardust and things like that. Yeah, anyways, the Mass Phoenix is starting to get out of control. Let's talk about what can be done about it, right? It's a little too late for Bales to really get his own Phoenix count up, so he's opted not to go for it. Not a bad choice. Mooseskills can't really play Mutacorruptor versus this either, but... And that's where I'm really going to bring it back once again. Fungal Growth can go a long way in this matchup.
I really wish he would go for Invitation Pit, but it is Aspire, and I don't think that's going to work out very well at all.
Oh, that Bailey Sweet's still not done. Gotta be careful, because there are those double drops ready to go.
There's enough Stalkers there that they really shouldn't... I don't know if they're supposed to press this issue. There's so many Phoenixes.
Crowd controls him and lifts him for the drop. He secures the drop.
I don't know if it's secure quite yet. There's a cannon, there's a potent overcharge. The Nexus, it was about half health.
Okay, yeah, let me correct that. He secures it from the Stalkers.
That's true. That is true. But, you know, that looked a lot more amazing than it ended up being, I guess. And now there's a lot of Banelings that weren't really used counterattacking.
I mean, you can only use enough Graviton Beams at a point. Eventually, you're just going to run out of juice. And that's, I think, the point of going for the Mass Ling strat. It's not only good versus Bio in the first place, but it's going to outlast the Phoenix there. But, okay, the engagement coming in. Oh, he got tempted by the SCVs. I know he wanted to roll up that ramp, but he saw those SCVs transferring and went, oh, maybe, greed. Nope. Didn't really work out. Lings do take out most of the bio, but the Phoenix still reigning supreme in the air. Stalkers, though, they are going to take a little bit extra to kill. Phoenix is going to come on top of this. Graviton beams on top of just about everything. If Moose Kills comes back and kills the Marines, nah, he's actually dead.
God. I can't believe how much energy he still has left over. Constantly been like, okay, well, he's done, right? He picked up all those Stalkers in the first place.
He's got, like,
and the
3 left, though.
Yeah, now he's finally out, but after killing all the army.
He, like, can't even lift the sentries. He's got such...
God, Phoenix are so good in team games.
I mean, that wasn't even like a team game moment, though. That was pretty much Phoenix versus Stalkers, just en masse.
Well, the only reason he's allowed to get en masse is because his teammates has Marines to back him up on the.
Oh yeah. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, it's gonna look even worse when the Marines and the Marauders are assisting.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Pure Legacy and Lair, they open up with that big cheese, right?
Ooh,
but
yeah.
really, their follow up has been very good. Actually, kind of surprised they're not going to try and go for tanks or Widow Mines at all. In fact, it's just pure bio. The factory is floating over Moose Kill's 4th.
Well, I think one of the big things is we see Corruptors coming out. I don't like that move. To be honest, there's enough Phoenix that the Corruptors aren't going to get much done. Especially the Marine underneath, the Marines supporting them underneath this.
It'd be about a main engagement if the Corruptors are going to do anything, really. But we really don't have Bales getting up to that tier 3 quite yet. And as such, I don't know if he'll be able to deal with the Marines that well.
You know, look at this. He just absolutely crushes the Corruptors. There's just too many Phoenix. And even if there weren't, this Void Race coming up behind this.
Dang.
The Corruptors are barely getting any shots off on this, too. Wow. Just wow. Phoenix are cool.
Yeah. I thought we learned how cool they were in the past 2v2s, but now they look even more OP.
I feel Moose Kills and Bales are reassessing their lives right now. Like, hey, so maybe we made the wrong units. Just
yeah, maybe like our life choices weren't, correct.
Like maybe if you had just gotten your own Phoenix. Mixed in with
I don't know. They've been quite difficult. I mean, the Fungals though, Roach Hydra Fungals.
Yeah.
Because Roach Hydra just in general is like the beefier of the compositions, like there's not really a hard counter. Even when it gets up to Roach Hydra Viper versus High Templar Colossus, it still can do okay. Whereas you can have someone directly counter Muta and Corruptors with enough freaking Phoenixes, which is what happens in 2v2.
It's like Marines but worse.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, catch a lot of the Phoenix,
the Marine
though.
of 2v2s.
Nice focus fire with the Stalkers as well. Meanwhile, down here at the bottom right, runs with the Ling, says, wait a minute, where's my Banlings? There we go. Loses the hatchery, sadly.
I mean, the supply lead for Pure Legacy over anyone, actually, I mean, just the team in general is really good in that regular games, 1v1 to Pure Bio, they do not work anymore. You need Splash. But here, just kind of split fairly well, and it'll take a decent enough trade.
Well, one of the bad things with this, too, is so much of his supplies wasted, so to speak, in these in the air. I mean, who wants Corruptors? You'd much rather just have that supply back in Banelings, back in Mutas, back in Roaches, anything else, but they're still struggling to deal with the air. Void Rays are going to reign supreme. I think the Mothership and the Tempest coming are going to be kind of the nail in the coffin, and GG is called. Wow. Pure Legacy and Larry will take game number 1. I really, for whatever you want to say about compositions or teams or whatever, call